Hello, my name is Mark T. Cox, and today we will be talking about how many different shades of bleach are in my hair. No, today we're talking about something I don't talk about very often, but it is very important. We're going to chat about money, cash, coin, dollars, and in particular how to control and look after your money as a freelance, self-employed person. This is going to be a quick little video because today I'm actually busy for the first time in about a year. Actually, I have work, I have stuff to do. So I'm going to give you 5 tips, 5 tricks, things that I do to manage how my money comes to me, manage where my money goes, and how I try, not always successfully, but how I try to keep track of how much money I have so I don't run out, basically. So please continue watching. This might be helpful if you are thinking about starting a freelance business and you're terrified of money and finances and budgets. This might help you. It's really not that bad. It's okay. You can do it. Or maybe you already have a freelance business and you're a little bit lost or a little bit scattered and you want to get a fresh start, tidy things up and get going for the new future. Or maybe you don't care about any of this and you just want to watch me talking, and that's okay as well. Just don't leave. Please don't leave. Let's go. Number 1. The first thing I think you need to think about is how to make it easy for people to pay you. How can you make it as straightforward as possible for people to give you their money? Now, depending on your business and how you work, some of this mightn't make sense, but for most freelancers, for most businesses, you will have a certain element of work where you do a job and then you make them an invoice and then they will pay you into your bank account. Pretty formal, fairly standardized, and it works. Takes a couple of weeks sometimes, but it works. It's generally how most kind of more corporate kind of professional work is paid. Now, outside of that, depending on what your business is, you might have more casual clients, you might have just individual people who buy things off you or pay you for services or whatever you do. So for those kind of clients or customers, it's really important to have as many different payment options as possible to help them, to make it easier for them to give you money. Most people, the idea of making a bank transfer can be a bit stressful, and it's something they have to log into their account and they have to fill in the numbers, and it can just, everyone has good intentions, they want to pay you, but often people are lazy and they forget. So if you can have a few different payment options available, it might speed things up and encourage them to give you money faster. So for me, I have, number 1, I have my standard bank account. It's a British bank account. I use it for everything, for all of my big invoice work. Number 2, I have another bank account. I have an Irish bank account. I'm an Irish citizen and I still have an address in Ireland, so it's not illegal. It's okay. And I keep that Irish bank account if I do any work in Ireland or anywhere in Europe. Sometimes people prefer to pay into a bank which uses the currency that they use. So Ireland uses the euro, the UK uses the pound. So if I ever do work in Dublin or in France or in Belgium, sometimes I'll use my Irish bank account for payment, and it's just a little bit more encouraging for people. Now, again, doesn't really make a difference, but in people's minds, sometimes making a payment to an international bank account can feel stressful and complicated. So if I do work in Ireland and I send them an invoice from my British bank account, they start panicking and they have to make an international transfer and it takes ages. So it's helpful to just keep that Irish bank account, that Euro bank account for those situations. So for you, you might live in America, you might live in, I don't know, South Africa, you might have different bank accounts. So it's just helpful. Keep them open if you're allowed and if it's legal. Keep them open because they can be helpful sometimes in the future. Number 3, I have PayPal. No big revelation here, but it's really, really helpful to keep it and offer it as a payment option. Again, for certain clients and customers, the idea of making a bank transfer can feel like a big fuss and a big deal. But just pop, pop, pop on PayPal. No big deal, super easy, and they'll send you the money straight away. So it can be a little bit more encouraging. Also, there's a bit of psychology here because I find that people who have a PayPal account often have a little bit of money in their PayPal account, which they don't really associate with being their money. It's kind of digital internet money. And so they're often more willing to pay for something using PayPal because it's not real money. Again, it's all about just making it easy for people to pay and making it faster for you to get the money so you don't have to chase and annoy people over and over. So PayPal is really handy. Number 4, lots of digital bank systems out there, and I think it's really, really helpful to get one. The most common in the UK is Monzo. I have Revolut, which is this nice color, and their digital accounts you set up super easy, and it's a place to keep some money, and it's also a really easy way of transferring money between people and between accounts. So if I'm doing work and it's casual, it's just for a local customer, I will offer them the option of paying through Monzo or Revolut. They really prefer that. They just open the app on their phone, tap, 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 done. And it's so much easier than going into your bank account and typing in all the numbers. So I really, really recommend getting Monzo or Revolut or one of those digital banks. And you connect it back to your real bank, and all the money can just go straight into your normal bank account in the end. You're not hiding money. Make sure you declare everything and you're honest, because you'll get caught, they'll find out. But it's just a way of getting more options to people so that they'll pay you faster. And then finally, the last thing that I've just started using recently is an app called Cash App. And it's so simple, it's so minimal, and you link it to your bank account and you can send a code or a QR code to anybody and they can transfer you money through the app. And it's super, super simple. And a lot of people are using it now for different things. Again, the money comes back into your normal bank account. So it's all the same money, but it's just about finding those ways to make it easier for people. Use things that they're familiar with and make it easier for them to pay you, so that you spend less time chasing them. And I think that's all. And cash, obviously. Always let people know it's okay to give you cash. That's all right. So number 2, I would highly recommend to get one of these. This is a card reader. People can tap, tap, tap. Really, really helpful. Whatever kind of freelancer you are, there will definitely at some stage be a day where somebody wants to pay you with their card, and having this means that you can do that. Now, I use this a lot because I'm a performer, so I do shows and concerts and cabaret shows. Sometimes I'm selling tickets in the venue. Nobody has cash, so everyone wants to pay tap tap for their ticket using their credit card or their debit card. I also do walking tours, and I do lots of work where people want to give tips. So again, people want to give tips, but often they don't have any cash. So having this is really helpful, and people can tap, tap, tap. It's easy for them. The money goes straight into your bank account every week, every month, whatever system you set up, and it's really, really good. So this one is from a company called Sum Up, and you can order it online. It's £29, and it comes to your house. Really easy to set up. And then if you never use it again, you just leave it there. It doesn't cost anything more. They charge you a small transaction fee every time someone makes a payment, and it's 1.5% or something like that. So for example, if you charge someone £10, Sum Up is going to take 10 or 20p from you for that transaction. The way I think about this is, without this card reader, there are many situations where I would have got no money. So having this and giving a small percentage back to the company, I don't mind. That's all right. Some other companies charge a monthly fee, which is a bit annoying if you don't use it that often. So whatever works best for you, but they're really, really helpful to have. Highly, highly recommend. You connect it to your phone with Bluetooth. It's really easy. Just type in the amount and it comes up on the screen. Tap, money, done. Great. Okay, we're flying along. Number 3, my third top tip is to have multiple bank accounts. Now, this can sound a bit kind of illegal. Be honest, declare everything, be open about what you're earning, don't hide money. You're going to get caught. Just be honest and it will benefit you in the end. But there is absolutely nothing wrong with having different bank accounts with money from different things in those bank accounts to help you manage your cash and control how much you spend. So first of all, I have my big traditional normal bank account, my British bank account, and that's where most of my income goes. It's where all of my expenses come from, my rent and my tax, electricity bill, all of those things come from my one kind of big personal bank account. Then number two, I have my Irish bank account we talked about. It's helpful just if I'm working in Europe and I want to have euro, and I just put some money into my Irish bank account and use it for that. Then I have my Revolut, my digital bank account, and this is what I use for my daily spending. I will take a chunk of money from my big bank account and I'll put it onto my digital bank, and I will use this every day then for food and coffee and groceries, just daily things. And I can carefully decide how much money is in there. Because as a freelancer, if things are going well and you're making loads of money, you can get a little bit of false hope or a little bit deluded, because you might have thousands in your bank account, but that's not your money. That's for the tax, that's for the expenses next month, pay the rent next month when you don't earn anything. So you really have to learn not to spend everything that you have. You need to keep it. I take an amount, I put it onto my digital account, and I use that for my spending. So keep your spending account separate and you will be a lot more disciplined with yourself. Then I have PayPal. I get paid for some things through PayPal, and it's really helpful just to leave some money in my PayPal account. Sometimes if I'm ordering stuff online, it's easier to just click with PayPal. And it's also nice to just have a few little pots of money that if things go wrong and you have any emergencies, you can pull from some of those pools of money and help yourself through a little struggle. And then outside of all of that, you should ideally have a savings account somewhere that you can't touch. What we have learned from this year is at any given moment, the world could collapse and all of our income could stop. So it is very, very helpful to have a savings account where you put something regularly as a safety, a little emergency fund, just in case something else is going to happen. My fourth tip or trick is digital invoices. Now, if you're new to self-employment or being a freelancer, the word invoice can be the most terrifying thing. And genuinely, I think people make more of a big deal about invoices than they need to. I don't know why people talk about invoices and expenses as these really complicated, serious financial issues. They're so easy. An invoice, if you don't know, nobody told me this until a few years ago. An invoice is just a piece of paper and it says your name and it says the service that you provided and it says how much the service costs and it says the name of the person who needs to pay you for the service. And that's pretty much it. Your bank details, your address, a few things. It's just a piece of paper confirming what you've done and how much you need to get paid for it. That's it. So most people, freelancers or self-employed, will make invoices just on their laptop using like a Microsoft Word or just a PDF template, and that's totally fine. Download, export, put it into an email and send it off to whoever. I did that for a while, but I found I kept making mistakes. I kept forgetting to change the date or forgetting to change the name of the client or the amount of the money. I was making mistakes. So now I use an online invoice software. It's so easy. It's called Invoice Home. And it's a place that you can generate your invoices online and it does a lot of the work for you. So you log in, you have all of your past invoices there, you create a new one, it auto generates all of your details. So you just type in the client and the amount of money and download and it's done. You can also see all of your past invoices and you can see if they've been paid or not. So it's a good way to keep track of who you need to chase and who you need to annoy to pay you sooner, which is good. The other thing that is really helpful with this, you can do it from anywhere. So in the past, I used to use my laptop, and if I wanted to send an invoice quick and I wasn't at home, I was trying to do it on my phone, or I was trying to make up the template on someone else's computer. But with this online thing, you can just log in from anywhere and it's all there, and you can tap and export and send it off and get your money. So it's really, really helpful. Now the one that I use, it's called Invoice Home. It costs money, so you have to pay something like £10 or $10 a month. I'm probably stupid to be paying for that, because I'm sure there are services that are free or really cheap online. So that's something I need to do. But honestly, I don't mind paying for it because it helps me and it's trustworthy, and I'm lazy. So it's okay. And then the final tip on this video, which is really, really boring, but it's very important, so stick with me. The final tip is record and document your earnings every day. Every single day. Now, in the past, I used to keep track of what I was doing, and I had a spreadsheet and I'd type in all I had earned maybe at the end of the week or at the end of the month. But I kept losing track and I kept forgetting, and it became this big job. It became this big task that I had to do to figure out all my different bits of work and try and get them onto this spreadsheet. So now what I do pretty much every day is I open my finance spreadsheet and I type in what I did, how much I earned, and whether I've been paid or if I'm waiting to get paid. And that's it. And I do that every single day. It takes 5 minutes, but at the end of the month, it's all there. You've just been adding to it piece by piece. And at the end of the year, when it comes to making your tax return, which is a big stressful thing for everybody, it's there. There's nothing to do. You've typed in every day what you've earned, and so at the end of the spreadsheet you have an amount. I earned £5 million or whatever it is. I didn't. Now, the alternative is just ignore this every day and just run around busy, get your money, and then at the end of the year panic because you have to complete your tax return. And this is when you hear everyone having a meltdown because they don't know what their earnings are. They're going through emails trying to find, when did I do that job? Did I send that invoice? Did they ever pay me? Going through your bank account, trying to figure out which account this came from. So stressful, and there is absolutely no need. Just do it every day, and then it's done, and you'll be so grateful to yourself at the end of the year when it's all nice and tidy. I try and do the same for my expenses. If I buy something and it's directly related to my business, type it into my little spreadsheet every day, and then at the end of the month I can see what my expenses are, and it helps. Try it, even try it for a month. Do it every day and see how it feels. To remind myself, to encourage myself to do this, I use a Google spreadsheet, and it's always open. So it's always in the tab beside my Gmail. So I see it every day, and it just reminds me, oh, I need to do that. And it really, 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 really helps. Okay, we're done. Who knew financial discussions could be so exciting and uplifting? And these are 5 little tips of things that I do. There's 100 other things that you can do to make all of this financial stuff, money stuff easier for you. I'll do more videos during the year and little things that I think about. And please comment, tell me things that you do or things that you've used or softwares or online bank accounts or anything that is helpful to you. And I will add it into the list on the next video. Thank you for watching. Please comment and like and love me. And I'll be back very, very soon. Bye.